I am coming for you, from you, whatever. It's been a long day because of the heat. I am here, Sammy's having some supper, and I'm here to talk about autism and food. It's a very, very tough subject for me because Emmett literally just continuously the last 6 months has been going through like major eating strikes, meaning was very limited anyway, and he's gone through them every year, but they seem to get more and more as he gets older. So I know that we all kind of go through things differently as far as that, and I actually know some ASD kiddos that don't have really any food aversions. They just eat. But I want to share a little bit about what we've kind of gone through. We are the family that when we are sitting for our Christmas dinner with our turkey, Emmett is sitting with his, there you go, Emmett is sitting with his Katie. And there's some people who feel like they're losing out. I mean, I have moments where I'm like, I'd love it if he was some turkey mashed potatoes kind of thing, but I'm not heartbroken over it because I've gotten to this place where as long as he's eating, I'm good. If he's sitting eating like the plate of pasta, cheesy pasta, whatever, I'm good. I've reached that point. But I still feel like there are parents who are in this period that they feel actually let down or sad at Christmas dinner because their child is having something different. So I want to tell you just a little bit about our experience because every experience is different, and I'm just going to throw ours out there. Emmett never ever ate, he was never a child who ate anything and everything. He's polar opposite of his baby brother. Our Sam will eat anything pretty well. The only thing he does not like is pancakes. So far anyway. But as far as Emmett has always struggled with food. He's choked very easily at a young age, so everything was pureed for a really long time, meaning like the very little bit of food that he would eat, we couldn't put food in front of him technically, because he would shove the whole thing in and he would choke. There is a difference between gagging and choking, which I heard an awful lot at the time, and it was kind of irritating, and hopefully I'm not the only one alone in this. I do agree with it, but there are kids who genuinely, with sensory issues and that, have a much harder time with food, and they do choke because it's like I don't even know how he would feel, but it's like he couldn't handle it, and he would be scared, so then he would tense up and it would happen. So we finally come to this place that we're not as nervous with him with food for the most part. New foods are always tricky. Popcorn is terrifying to me because it's so dry and that, but we've come to this place with that, but he's still very limited. He's still not exactly having as much as I would like him to have. We have gone through the Pediasure thing. He will never touch it. I always say that I wish they made an unflavored, colorless Pediasure. It would sell because there's more parents like myself who are in that boat. That if you could mix it in with juice or something and it literally not change the texture or color or taste even a bit, it would work. At least I think it would. So Pediasure is out for us. I have literally tried buying it, even the vanilla stuff where it was white like milk, and putting in half a teaspoon in one thing of milk, and he could still taste the difference. As could I, because I would try it myself to see, and you could taste it. You could taste like a hint of something. And he can read it completely. So we're in this place right now that he really is asking for all these foods, and he may not be eating them, but I genuinely feel like he's trying to figure out what the heck he likes. And I think that is a good thing because at least he's trying things. And he's still not eating most of them, but he's at least trying them. And trying them is all I can ask. If you had asked me 2 years ago if he would try things, I would say no. So he's at least trying some things. We don't force. I've never been a mom who's done the force food thing, like you need to eat this, blah, 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 because it doesn't work that way with Emmett. We haven't had any food issues with Sammy. He's come along and literally eaten everything we've eaten, cut up extremely small or mashed up and whatever. I'm still keen on the whole safety thing. I can't do a lot of the stuff that's out now. I have to puree and mash my baby's food even at 1.5 years. I just can't, and cut it up. Safety mom, it just is what is. And I would say our experience with Emmett kind of intensified that for me. So if I literally had a genie come down and they were like, what do you want? Probably my 3 wishes would be that Emmett would eat better. I wouldn't necessarily want him to eat perfectly because no one really does. I'm far from it myself. I'm the plainest eater you will ever meet. I have my hamburgers plain, nothing on them, my hot dogs plain, and I scrape the sauce off my pizza. So can't say a darn word about pickiness with me because I am the pickiest eater. And I really will not make anybody feel bad if they're a particular eater themselves. Because I've been there and I know what it's like. So, coming along, I'm going to keep doing more food therapy with him. EIBI is now over, so we're kind of taking it more. It was in our own hands the whole time, but we're just trying to keep the tools and stuff that we've learned in check for all of this. And be consistent with it, because being consistent with the tools and skills that we've gained is very important for any sort of progress. Food is the trickiest. It is probably the hardest as far as the everyday, because especially on hot days like this, Emmett doesn't like anything cold, and he will drink his juice and stuff like that, but it has to be room temperature, which on days when it's like the Humidex is crazy, I just wish he'd have something cold. And that's a mom worry thing. That's not I want him to be typical thing. Certainly not, because I don't want anybody to be typical. Far be it, not my kids. Because I'm not typical. None of us really are. If you say that you are, I feel like it's like you're trying to be and it doesn't really exist. So, I know I'm hurrying, because I have a little boy here who's so hungry. So, that's it for me this week. Please let me know any of your food struggles or successes or anything like that below. I love hearing them. I love hearing other people's stories. It really brings the message forward and more awareness, because I don't know how many times a family member or a friend or whatever, even somebody at a restaurant, has given guilt for our son not eating like every other kid, or whatever they want to word it. So I shall see you again next week, and let me know your food stories below. Thanks.